feel like you gassed us up so much that I'm gonna underdeliver.
But
the view is the point of the flight,
I'm gonna
not
sleep all the time.
And I think
But you
it's
get, like,
charming
the
to be
wall
like, oh,
then.
excuse me, it's true. I don't have guilt in any of the pleasures. It's just
More subscribers to
oh, okay. Get those numbers up.
Yes, get those numbers up.
Sorry, now I'm yelling. Okay, just
Sorry,
okay. Can you ask me the question again?
Okay.
Things got serious.
Yeah.
And
I will agree with you.
yeah.
Or even, I didn't say this before, but even before going into computer science here, I considered being an ultrasound tech because I thought the science is really cool.
Yeah.
For
How
me,
are the
that's-
vibes?
Yeah, exactly.
I
You
judge
gotta-
a lot
you gotta
of things
seek out
based
the
on vibes. And
so
honestly, it's not a bad thing.
No.
Hey guys, welcome back to It's Okay to Be Karen, and here we are in episode 1 of season 2. And today we have 2 guests, and they are graduates of computer science. One who is doing amazing work in industry work, and the other who's doing an amazing job in research. And today we're going to pass the camera to them and let them introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Chi. I graduated from computer science this June, and I am now working as a software developer full-time.
I'm Amanda. I graduated in June from applied computing, and now I'm doing my master's in computer science.
Okay, we're going to shift segment. So in this segment, we're going to do a rapid fire. So I'm going to ask 10 questions, but 5 each. Very simple questions. You do not think when you answer, just go, go, go.
Okay, so the
And-
warm up.
Yes, gotta warm up. Okay, Amanda, what's the best compliment that you've ever received?
Oh, that I'm very kind.
Aw, that's so cute. Okay, next question to Amanda. Would you prefer heels, flats, or sneakers?
Definitely sneakers, maybe a low heel.
Okay, very cute.
Classy.
Okay, Chief, you were in an airplane. Would you prefer a window or an aisle seat?
Obviously, window.
Okay, what's your guilty pleasure?
I don't have guilt in any of my pleasures. It's just
We might be
if
the worst
something
people
feels
asking
nice,
questions.
then why feel guilty about
Okay, that's a
it?
good answer.
Yeah, just
Okay,
enjoy.
perfect. Yeah, just enjoy. Okay. Amanda. Okay, what was the book that you most recently finished?
The last book I finished
Hmm.
was called The Green Glass House, and it's a little like Christmassy book about a hotel.
Yay, very cute. I'll let you guys ask me 5 questions.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Gold or silver?
I like, can I say rose gold? I love rose gold.
Sure.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
I love rose gold.
To wear, or I know
Yeah.
there's like furniture and
Oh no, just to
different.
wear. I love
things like-
accessories that are rose gold. Okay, so now that we have done things very rapidly, we're going to get to our podcast questions. So, maybe just for our audience, do you kind of want to tell them how you guys met? And was this kind of like in high school, or you guys were in different high schools? How did you guys first met each other? And how did this eventually turn into a really good friendship?
We met in high school. At our high school, they had a thing where it's like you have the same homeroom for all 4 years, and we were in the same homeroom. And I thought she was cool. Literally, her and this like other girl who was in our class, they sat together, and I thought they were both like so cool, so I wanted to befriend them. And then we became friends, mostly through like
just taking the same
Yeah.
classes and then seeing each other in TGG was what it was called. And then our friendship just kind of grew from there.
So since you guys met in high school, right, and there must have been a point where you started enjoying computer science. Was it like a first computer science class, or was it like a club that you realized your passion for computer science?
Yeah, so she asked me to take computer science with her because she was scared that it would
In
be
grade
all
11.
boys. Yeah, this was in
Yeah.
grade 11. And so we took it, and then we just both ended up really liking it. And we also did sumo bot.
Oh yeah, there was a
competition.
robotics competition that year as well. And that was probably our first exposure to coding and
Mhm.
programming. There was also like a hardware aspect where we put together the bot, and that was super fun. And then from there we took computer science, and then both of us did the computer science class in grade 12 and university. And then from there we kind of stuck with it, I guess.
And then how did you know that you wanted to do like computer science in university, right? Because sometimes I assume you do things in high school, and it's really hard to kind of figure out you want to do something as a major. So how did you kind of know stepping into university that this is what I want to do? and computer science would work just perfectly great for my undergrad program?
I don't think I knew.
Yeah.
If anything, I think Amanda.
Yeah, for me, I was really interested in research stuff, kind of more like medical research, because I'd been involved in participating in some research studies when I was younger. And so I really enjoyed that. And then I took this computer science class and I really loved that. And then I learned about bioinformatics and applied computing and was just like, combines all these things that I'm interested in. And here we are now, basically.
Yeah. For me, I took computer science in my first year, but I also took a bunch of classes. It was very diverse of a course selection because I didn't know what I wanted to do, and then I didn't really narrow it down until midway of my second year, and I ended up taking a couple second year courses in my third year just to catch myself up. Yeah, so it wasn't like an immediate, oh, this is something I want to do. It's just me figuring it out along the way.
Did you kind of feel like the jump from computer science in high school and then university was very, very big? Or did you kind of feel like you knew what you were getting into and it didn't feel too much of a jump?
I feel like from what we covered in our high school class was actually pretty similar to 141. So it was kind of a smooth transition that way. I honestly think the bigger jump happens
in second year.
Yeah.
Things got serious.
Yes.
And
I will agree with you there.
Yeah. And I feel like the intro comp sci classes are, yes, meant for students interested in computer science, but lots of students just take it as an elective.
And then as you guys continued doing computer science, I know both of you've done some kind of research in your undergrad program. Did you guys enjoy your experience doing research? And if you wanted to share a little bit about the research that you did or what you remember?
Yeah, I got started after my the first year that we were back in person from COVID. So after second year, I think I got my first NCERC and started in the lab under the supervision of Ling Jin, which is still one of the people I'm supervised by. And I just really liked doing research. And it's funny because I said before I was really interested in biological research. Now most of my research is computational agriculture, so a little bit different, but still biology. But yeah, I think I just really liked the blending of technology and biology and the idea of just I don't know, being not in charge of myself a little bit, but I do just working on, I don't know, it's nice because it's collaborative and
it's also self-driven
and independent. Yeah, exactly.
A mixture of both. Yeah. Did you feel the same way as well, Chi?
Yeah, I also got a research position. I think it was after my second year. I reached out to Dr. Banani Roy after taking her course when the opportunity for the NCERC came up, and I started working in her lab, and I continued for another summer after my third year before going on internship. And yeah, same experience. Well, not same experience, but same takeaways as Amanda. Very self-driven and also collaborative, and just something cool to try out outside of school.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So after you guys both kind of did research, I know you guys, one of you decided to continue doing research, and then of course one of you decided to do more into the industry work. Was there kind of one specific phase or maybe consecutive phases where you then realized research is for me or research is not for me, or maybe a point where you realize that career is for me, industry work is for me, and then industry work is not for me? What was that phase kind of and how did you come about that realization?
I think for me, it's not that industry is absolutely not for me. It's more though, I know that right now I'm really interested in doing research and I want to keep pursuing that, and I want to keep pursuing academics. So I'm continuing on with my master's. That's not to say I'm anti-industry and I'll never go into that. We'll see what the future holds. But for me, it was just the right choice at the time.
Yeah. For me, I really liked research after I finished it. And then I also really liked working with Zoo for my internship. They're just a great team, and the corporate environment was just it's different, but different good, and I enjoyed it, and I just decided to continue down that path. That's not to say that choosing one rules out the other, because I still participate in a couple events from my lab or help out here and there, and I stay in touch with lots of people from the lab, like my supervisor, my like all the PhD students and people I've met along the way. So who knows? Maybe I don't know. Just to put not to put it out there, but like just you don't have to pick one and stick with it forever. Is what I mean. Yeah.
If someone was kind of like in that phase where they're conflicting and they kind of want to pick one over the other, do you have like advices or things that you kind of did to pick the right choice for yourself? So any advices you would give to a person who is in that stage of conflicting opinions?
Go where the opportunity presents itself. If you have an opportunity for a research position and you're not too sure, take it. If you end up not liking it, you'll know. Same as like say a job offer and whatnot. If things come up, just grab them if you're unsure, and then decide like whether it's for you or not.
Yeah, I think that goes along. Just saying like neither choice has to be permanent. You're always allowed to change your mind, go back to school, or go into industry later. Both are totally okay, and both give you valuable experience.
Yeah.
I also feel like not just computer science, like just any field in general, research can be very vast, and it's like really hard to pick what kind of works for you and what doesn't. Like let's say computer science, right? Like we have cybersecurity, we have interactive system designs. How did you know, or maybe I'm putting you in a tough spot, but like how did you know what was your research interest area? Was it kind of when you took classes or like you studied under that prof and you were like, okay, well, I like his or her teaching style, we would work really well? Or was it more like, I'm interested in this field, I reach out to the prof and I want to give this a shot? Like, what do you think? Or is it like a mixture of both?
For me, it's definitely a mixture of both. I think like it's so important that if you're going into research, you have a supervisor or supervisors that you actually like and get along with, because I think ultimately that determines how happy you're going to be. And then also, okay, for me, like I said, I knew that I liked sort of like blend of tech and bio before even, I didn't say this before, but even before going into computer science here, I considered being an ultrasound tech because I thought the science was really cool.
Yeah.
So it was less like coursework and more just like, where do I want to apply what I'm learning, and having other broad interests outside of computer science.
Yeah, I don't think neither of us knew for sure what we wanted. Again, it comes down to exploration and having that mentorship, that guidance from your supervisor, and the PhD or the grad students that you work with is also crucial.
I was gonna say actually specifically to Chi. I had Sam on this podcast. I don't know if you've watched
Wilkinson.
This. Yes.
From Zoo, yeah.
Yes. I thought he
He's
was
a cool
an amazing human being, and I loved talking to him. I was
He's
like,
so funny.
Yes, he's actually really funny.
I sat like across from him, sort of like diagonal.
Yeah.
And him and another guy, Mike, they're best friends, and they're so distracting. I get no work done because they'll just be, chit chatting across from me, and of course I get pulled into it because it's so hard to ignore. I'm like, Kitchi, you need to focus. But yeah, he's very funny.
Yeah,
very
I got very
entertaining.
distracted. Like we were yeah, like there were so many like actually I think we only posted 30 or 35 minutes, but the actual podcast like was an hour.
Yeah.
So you can imagine how much we actually like yapped midway.
Yes.
But anyhow, do you kind of feel like the experience of doing research and industry work was different for you? Because you've experienced both, right? So like what do you think is maybe top two differences that you feel? And it could be like work culture, or it could be like just your, for example, in research it's more independent, whereas in Zoo maybe it was more collaborative with more meetings. So what do you feel like are the top two differences?
I think the self-driven aspect of research is pretty prominent, and I think in part it's when you work at a company, and maybe this is me speaking as kind of a new developer, but the tasks are laid out for me. Like you pick up a Jira card, you know what you're supposed to do, the allotted time, like the estimate on the card, this is stuff that you need to do for this project, whereas in research it's more nebulous, I guess. You have to figure it out along the way, and then if you have questions, you ask your supervisor. But even then, they don't know all the answers. It's like something that you kind of figure out along the way, and the timeline is more fluid that way. Maybe obviously there's like deadlines for papers and projects and whatnot, but it's yeah, I think that would be something that I've noticed.
Do you also feel like it's like when you're a researcher, your schedule is more flexible? Like you decide what you kind of want to do, whereas in an industry work, it's more set in stone. Like you need to finish these tickets by the end of the month, and you only focus on those things, and you don't have a lot of opportunity to explore as you would as a research student.
I think there's room to explore and learn with everything because yes, you pick up a task and you work on it, but you also have to spend some time, especially as a new developer, to do some learning and to catch yourself up on areas that you're not too sure about. And that's where most of the learning happens. And the other part is just feedback from other developers or discussions with your manager, and that's how you learn. And the same goes, I'd say, in research, just happens with your supervisor. Again, people who are there to give you feedback and to mentor you. Timeline wise, I'm not sure if I would say that it's more relaxing in research. I think it's just a different kind of pressure or like a different kind of
Process.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. So as a girl who also is in computer science, I sometimes I don't necessarily find it difficult to navigate this, but I also notice that in most of our classes we have kind of like this gender imbalance kind of thing where obviously we have more males compared to females. Do you guys ever find this a difficult situation, or do you guys, like at the beginning at least, maybe in high school when you were studying computer science, did you guys face this issue of this gender imbalance? And did this ever affect your decision of taking computer science in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah,
It's a very loaded
it was
question.
definitely noticeable as early as high school. We were 2 of 3 girls in our high school class of like 30 some kids, yeah. And then that ratio, there's more people, but the ratio is almost the same, I almost find. And unfortunately, because it's such a male dominated field, you can feel that as a woman sometimes. And the most important thing I feel like for both of us has just been like finding community. And yeah, I don't know, anything to add?
We have each other. We have our friends who, like Nora, I think comes to mind. She's I think a year or two above us. Very accomplished girl, very smart, very everything, and just our role model as we were in school to look up to.
Now that we speak about community, both of you are presidents of CSSS. So how did that kind of come about? Like, how did you decide becoming presidents, or how did you actually decide getting into the club would be my first question.
I joined and dragged Amanda into joining the CSSS. Was it our second year?
It might have
seems so long
It was
ago
still
now.
when things were online.
Oh
so-
yeah, we started university.
But I think it was
during
second
COVID.
year.
And yeah, no, I think we joined the CSSS when things were still online. Me as event director and Amanda as Bioinformatics representative. And we wanted to just get more involved and see what kind of things we can put on. It was definitely tricky during COVID because participation was low. I think all the clubs took a hit during that time. Things picked up though when we came back in person and started hosting events in person. Yeah. And then the following year I decided to run for president. Was it the following year, or my memory is hazy?
It was definitely the following year, because when we started, like when we first joined, there was like 4 executives, so we were all, I feel like,
that is very low.
already doing, you know, many of the jobs, even whatever our roles were, we were doing a lot. So then it was like, I feel like for you, it made sense to just like be president and me vice president, because we were already doing so much, and the person who was president no longer wanted to do that and stuff, so it just kind of made sense to like step into those roles.
Yeah, and then we got our members joining the executive team, more hands on deck, and things just picked up from there.
So when you decided to become president, was it kind of like your own kind of willingness choice kind of thing, or it's kind of like you just wanted to
I was
step-
forced. I was
Yeah,
forced.
that's what I was getting at. I was like, oh.
It was like basically if one of us did not become president, the club was going to not
Aw.
exist.
Yeah.
Essentially. So yeah,
So you have to do
there
the
was a
job.
forceful hand. Someone had to.
And well, yeah, and that it was just fun though, right?
Yeah.
Like I loved just the one or two events that we put on either during COVID or when we came back, and I thought, why not just continue this?
Yeah.
This is fun, and I think we can handle it,
Yeah.
and we make a really good team. So
That's fair. I feel like you guys did a really good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
think-
like when I was president, Amanda was my VP. So.
Yeah.
I think that was actually my favorite year of doing it. Not
Yeah.
that like I didn't enjoy being president, but just like we do just make a good team, and it
Yeah.
felt so like we just knew what we were doing.
Perfect, yeah.
Even though we had no idea the entire time.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Do you guys have a favorite memory of you guys being in that team?
Probably the game nights. That's where we met all
all
our
our friends. So
That's sweet.
Yeah.
So, because you guys were doing CSSS, obviously, doing your courses and research and whatnot, did you guys ever had a hard time to figure out how you want to manage your time, like time management? Was that ever an issue for both of you?
I wouldn't call it an issue necessarily, but it's something I have to be like very careful about, especially like, for me, I have some like health conditions.
Right.
So it's also like I feel like I can't do the thing where you like stay up really late to do your studies or whatever, because I will just crash and burn and end up very ill. And then, but also because of those same health conditions, I spent a lot of time in high school not necessarily going to school in person and having to learn to manage my schoolwork myself. So it wasn't necessarily an issue. I think COVID also made us all learn how to manage our time better. So through that, I kind of got through it.
Yeah, for me, I think I had pretty good time management skills from high school that transferred over. And then just making good use of that Google Calendar, plop everything that you have. Seriously, it's just instead of trying to hold it in your brain,
That's true. Though.
make use of the tools that you have. Put it in a Google Calendar. You should have seen my Google
I'm
Calendar
a fan
during.
of handwrite. Like I buy a day planner every year. I'm like an old lady.
Well,
Yeah.
because it's more satisfying to check it off for some reason.
Yeah,
when
I
it's
like
on
the
paper.
physically,
But
like,
then, like, what if
crossing
you
or
want like a
checking off.
5-minute reminder kind of thing?
Yeah,
you
then
know?
I guess I use both, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's kind of my
just
issue.
plan it out.
Yeah.
And I think one other thing is to get a general idea of what's coming up next, but don't try to plan so far ahead that you end up overwhelming yourself. It's
True.
like, okay, these are stuff I have to do. It's in my calendar. I know this, but focus on the upcoming priorities for either the day or the next couple days.
yeah, it's definitely not so much like a time management issue for me as much as it's a avoid getting so totally overwhelmed issue.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Were there things that you've learned in your undergrad like when you were doing your undergrad, that you think you want to share with the audience? Like anything that you've learned, not like course-based stuff, but like
Yeah, and, like,
life
so I learned-
skills.
Guys, I'm gonna
you
give
know?
you a crash course.
No,
on
no,
this
no,
algorithm.
right now.
No, we don't need that. No. It's like life skills or something that really hit you and you're like, oh man, like I should have known this earlier, or like I feel like people need to know this.
For me, I think undergrad gave me a chance to not be okay. I'm a very shy and quiet person, but I was like painfully shy when I was younger. So undergrad, especially with doing research in the CSSS, was like a progressive, being less shy and just like knowing, it sounds bad, like learning social skills almost, but like knowing how to actually be able to do a podcast like this. Like I can't imagine high school me being comfortable talking like this.
Yeah, just figuring out that people are not at all that scary.
Yeah, they're not
at
scary,
least
yes.
most of them.
Yeah, that's true. So like I assume when you do your research or like your job, it's kind of like 9 to 5, 8 to 4, and then after work you kind of just there at home. Do you guys do like extracurricular activities to kind of fill your days, or are you more of like a cozy person who likes to snuggle in their blanket? Which one are you?
I think both. Well, in the summer, as soon as I clock out, I get away from my workstation as far away as the computer as possible. In the summer, I went outside lots, biking, running.
I saw those
walking.
stories with your sister.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's my best friend probably, and Amanda.
Yes, thank you.
But yeah, like I hang out with her lots, just doing activities outdoors. I don't love the cold as much, so I've been spending it indoors, like reading and other cozier, I guess, activities. Oh, and the gym, working out and just moving my body.
Yeah, I definitely lean cozier, but I like read a lot. And I want to say, when you asked me what the last book I read was, that book is like a kid's book. So I want to share that the current book I'm reading, I swear, is actually more serious. And I'm reading a book about like sexism and how it's ingrained in AI. So it's a mix of
That's interesting.
fun and serious.
Yeah.
And then
Fun and serious.
yeah, very serious. And then I also do a movie night once a week with my brother.
Oh, how sweet.
Which is just like good because we don't live together, so like seeing him. And then yoga and stuff like that, more like gentle exercises than like full on gym, but
Nice.
also staying active.
So, just because you guys came to our podcast, I got you 2 little cute gift cards, and I hope you like them. So this one's from Ryla Cafe, and I'm gonna give this to Amanda.
Thank you.
So Ryla Cafe is on Slyman Road, and they're a very cute cafe. You can literally relax, go with your friends. It's very comfortable and a quiet cafe almost. So, you can literally go there and do your little assignment there too. They do egg waffles. They do a lot of bubble teas, warm drinks as well. So feel free to visit them. And then this one's probably your favorite one. This is Delish by Tish.
Thank you.
They do really good soups, and almost every day they have like 3 set of soups that they change once in a while. So every time you'll go, you'll feel surprised. And they have really good homemade style kind of food. So
Drinks,
drinks,
desserts, baked goods, their
cheesecakes.
cakes, amazing.
Cheesecakes, yes. So go there, guys. Do not.
You don't have
wait.
to tell me twice.
Yes, go there. Okay, with that being said, guys, do you have any last words for the audience? Anything that you want to share with the audience? Any last words before we kind of sign off here?
Just thanks for listening to us
Yeah,
yap.
thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming, guys. I'm gonna say I really appreciate Amanda and Jean for being a part of season 2. I think they both have done a lovely job in their own respective fields, and I'm sure they'll continue to make us proud and our department proud. And with that being said, we hope they do all the best in their parties. And with that, we're just gonna say bye.